Hi, everybody. This is Natasha Explains It All. And this is going to be the first of not really a series, but a group of episodes that I want to refer to as action alert episodes. So sometimes I'm going to do episodes that are time sensitive, where I'm going to be sharing an action item that you can do today to promote justice, to do something good, to make a difference in making the world a little less horrible. And today's action alert comes from the Innocence Project. And the Innocence Project, if you're unfamiliar with the Innocence Project, is a nonprofit that works to free people who are innocent from prison. And they do the investigative and criminal defense work to help people who have been wrongly convicted overturn their convictions and regain their freedom. And they recently sent around an action alert that I would like to share with you and highly encourage you to participate in. So on February 7th, Tuesday, February 7th, which is tomorrow, the state of Missouri plans to execute a man named Leonard Taylor, who goes by Raheem. So Leonard Raheem Taylor, despite evidence of his innocence. And his case involves some very typical examples of the type of shoddy work that leads to wrongful convictions, including coerced confessions, uh, shoddy medical testimony, and poor defense work. And so, excuse me, the basic story with Raheem, and I'm going to put in the show notes links to more information. So please, so that you can learn more for yourself, because I'm going to keep this episode short. Is that he was convicted of the murder of his girlfriend and her three children. Obviously, like very heinous offense, but he's been incarcerated for nearly 20 years and has maintained his innocence the entire time. And like basically, he was in another state when this all happened. He was thousands of miles away and didn't do it and maintains his innocence. And there is evidence of that. And because of all of the shoddy work that was done related to his case, as well as I'm sure racism, he is on death row and could be executed as soon as tomorrow, February 7th. And so, what can we do about this as individuals? How can any of us play a role in stopping this execution and allowing Raheem to be retried, allowing the court to consider new evidence, and to spare this innocent man's life? Okay, well, there's a couple of things we can do. One is there's a call by both the Innocence Project as well as another group called Missourians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty. They're an anti death penalty group. On Instagram, they're at MADPMO. I will put that in the show notes. And one of the asks is to call Governor Parsons, who is the governor of Missouri, and ask that Raheem be granted a reprieve, so that all of the evidence can be all the evidence can be reviewed and his execution stayed. And I will put the number in the show notes, but I'll put it here as well, in terms of what to do. Um, and um, and you might be wondering, like, oh my God, like, what is that? How do I even like call an elected official? What do I say? That seems awkward. Well, the good news, and again, I'll put this in the show notes, is that the organization Missourians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty have put on their social media a really easy script to that you can follow, so that when you call, I'm reading from their Instagram post. This is the script that they've provided. So you would call and you would say, "Hello, my name is so and so, and I am from whatever city." And again, you don't have to be from Missouri. These campaigns work when there is a lot of attention. When there's a lot of attention and we're jamming their phone lines, they can also help drive media attention. So even if you don't live in Missouri, you can definitely take this action. So again, starting from the top. "Hello, my name is so and so. I'm from such and such city, and I'm calling today to ask that Governor Parson halt the execution of Leonard Taylor. Leonard has an innocence claim that needs to be reviewed. Please use your executive clemency powers to issue a stay of execution and call for a board of inquiry to review these claims." And again, I'll put in the show notes the link so you can look at the script as you're saying it, and you don't need to say anything more. But if there's enough calls, that gets their attention. Another name for this that is used in the activism community is called a phone zap. A phone zap is when you have lots of people calling in at one time about a particular issue. In defense of someone who's incarcerated, who's being abused while they're being incarcerated, is a very common form of a phone zap. And so here's a phone zap for many people to call in to stop the execution of this guy who's innocent and needs an opportunity to be able to have his case re-examined in court. And the Innocence Project is an incredibly reputable organization. And so, again, I'll put in the information here so you can read for yourself, the details. But knowing that uh, the Innocence Project is a highly reputable organization. And also on both the Innocence Project as well as Missourians for Alternatives to the Death Penalty, on both of their social media, they also have videos of Leonard Raheem Taylor. So you can see what this dude looks like and what his story is. So the numbers to call for Governor Parson, there's two numbers. You can either call 573-751-3222, or you can call 573-400-0357. And again, I'll put this in the show notes. So that you can follow along there. And one of the statistics that I was reading about this situation, which is additionally disturbing, perhaps I'll do another episode about the death penalty itself, but the county that wants to execute him and take his life is St. Louis County in Missouri. And apparently, St. Louis County ranks 6th for most executions in the country. This is very disturbing because the more likely a place is to use the death penalty, the more likely it is that they're killing innocent people. And at this point, there have been hundreds of people who've been exonerated from death row. And let's put in a little bit of effort. If each of us put in a little bit of effort to prevent this person from being yet another innocent person killed by the state. You also have the option to email the prosecuting attorney, Wesley Bell, and urge him to file a motion to overturn the conviction. That is in the Innocence Project social media, and I will put that in the show notes. You can also share on social media, get this trending. So that people are talking about this, and you can encourage friends and others to get involved. There's also, of course, a hashtag going around that's hashtag clemency for KJ. And again, or justice for Raheem is another hashtag justice for Raheem is another another hashtag that's been going around. And so I will post this information again in the show notes, but I really hope that you will consider taking a few minutes today to make a call to the governor of Missouri, Governor Parson, and that you might consider sending an email to the prosecuting attorney, and let's create some noise and save an innocent man's life. And again, you can do all of your independent research if you'd like. I'll put some information in the show notes, again, with those phone numbers again of where to call. And yeah, this is my first of this like action alert series that are going to be time sensitive, very specific action items that we can all be involved in to make things a little bit better and really make the difference in somebody's life. So just hashtag justice for Raheem, make a call, help stop the execution of someone who's innocent. All right, that's enough for now. Check the show notes for notes. Until next time.